Right now at 5, residents in Missouri are pushing for legislation to stop the application of industrial waste on their lands.
Now we've got the opportunity for maybe a sprinkle or two, otherwise breezy and warm today. Look at that forecast, get you out the door coming up.
Plus, a history lesson about baseball pitcher Frank Wickware takes place in Girard, Kansas.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Melissa Alexis.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Monday, and it is whatever day this says. It is the 24th, isn't it?
Yep, sure
The month has gone by in a hurry. Hopefully everybody's had a good March so far. I would have to say it's not been too bad.
Not bad at all.
And the weather getting better, and the warmer weather starting to stick around. I think we're past that false spring, and the last part of winter should start to warm up. And today, going to be another fairly decent day. Let's start with that live look outside downtown Pittsburgh, and there you have it. You can't see it yet because it's still dark outside, but there are some clouds here and there. So we head over to the wow. Okay, I tell you, this is really. Okay, well, I'll go over here and I'll do this the old-fashioned way, but, okay, hold on. I see what's going on. Boy, it's already Monday, guys. It's already Monday. All right, MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline looking good as well. Taking a look around the region. So here's our future track heading into the afternoon. We'll have clouds increasing through the morning, and will be mostly cloudy as we head through the afternoon. Between roughly noon and 3, there could be a stray sprinkle or two. The majority of us will remain dry, and then skies will start to become partly cloudy as we head later into the evening. Temperatures a bit on the chilly side this morning, but again, somewhat seasonable. 39 in Joplin, 36 in Pittsburgh. And as we look at temperatures around the region, again, not bad. We're all hanging out into the 30s with the exceptions of Chanute and Bentonville, both sitting at 40 as the warm spots this morning. So kids getting on the bus should have relatively clear skies to start, about 40. Southwest winds 5 to 10. And when that bus comes back this afternoon, we're looking at upper 60s. Southwest breeze picks up a bit. 10 to 15, occasional gusts to 25, mostly cloudy skies, and again, between noon and 3, perhaps a stray sprinkle or two. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, temperatures upper 60s, low 70s. Clouds begin to clear later this evening. We start to really warm up tomorrow. We'll talk about those details for you in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Melissa?
Thanks, Chris. For years, residents in southwest Missouri have dealt with the application of industrial waste on their land from waste disposal companies. Missouri Senator Jill Carter held a public meeting to educate the public on what is being done to help regulate this issue. KOAM's Mitch Adams has more.
People in southwest Missouri are fighting to regulate companies using land to dump industrial waste. Missouri Senator Jill Carter visited Joplin Greenhouse and Coffee Shop to meet with the community and educate them on what's been happening.
This land application of sludge has been something that we've been dealing with for quite a few years. We got the legislation passed last year. Obviously, that has alleviated a lot of concerns down where I live in Neosho area, Fairview, Mack County, but we're seeing a little bit of influx of that concern being spread up here to Webb City in particular.
According to a representative from the Department of Natural Resources, the waste, referred to as sludge, is made up of waste from meat and dairy processors, pet and animal food plants, and more. Carter has been working with local farmers at the Capitol in Jefferson City to put regulations on the companies using Missouri as a site to dump waste.
A group of cattlemen up a few weeks ago, sat down. We also had some of the companies who pick up the industrial sludge. They were a part of that meeting, trying to get all stakeholders together in one room to have the conversation with DNR about how and what to do to help businesses, help farmers, and help our communities is critical.
People who live in the area say they would like to see a change in how this waste is regulated.
For me, I would like to see the waste from food processing and industrial manufacturing. I would prefer that not go to the land if possible. And right now there's no avenue for that.
The dangers of the sludge include the potential transmission of pathogens.
It can have bacteria that is commonly known to cause food poisoning, but more importantly, it can have avian flu. And avian flu, depending on the form it's in, can live up to 21 days on the land. And so then our wildlife and and other things are exposed to that.
Residents say it's time to find a way to make legislation happen.
Trying to come up with positive ways to make change. I think a lot of the social media has been negative, and I don't think that's productive. So I would prefer to reach out to people in the industry, people in the government, citizens, and let's find an answer to the problem that's good for the land and the water and for us.
In Joplin, Missouri, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
According to Senator Carter, updates on legislation should be available to the public in the next 31 days. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. The Girard Public Library hosted Phil S. Dixon Saturday afternoon for a presentation on baseball pitcher Frank Wickware. Wickware was born in Girard in 1988 and played in the Negro Leagues from 1910 to 1920. Wickware was inducted into the Kansas Baseball Hall of Fame in 2011.
It's one thing to talk about someone who lived in New York and you're sitting in Kansas City. It's another thing to go to New York where that person lived and talk about them. So I think coming here today, it brings the story all the way around for me because I've been talking about it for years. And to actually be here in his hometown, that just brings the story alive.
A jar of dirt from Girard was given to Dixon to spread on Wickware's grave in New York next week. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Pitt State softball looks to extend its winning streak against Emporia State. We have the details. Plus, Rio's Christ the Redeemer statue turns off lights to bring awareness to climate change. And we have a breezy and warm day today. We'll have what to expect with Chris Warner in the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back.
Both of our local MIAA baseball teams closed out their weekend series with divisional matchups yesterday. We start in the Jungle, where Pitt State looks to win its series against Fort Hays State. Gorillas versus the Tigers in the rubber match. We're going to start in the 5th. Tanner Leslie on the mound. He's going to strike out batter for number 1. So now, got a runner on first. Tough play for Ricky Sanchez, but he makes the throw just in time. Gorillas lead 2-1. So we go to the bottom of the inning. Sanchez reaches out and dumps this ball into right field. Runners on the corners after that one. So we got the next batter, Drew Bugner. Laces a single to center field. That plates a run. Gorillas up by 2. So we're going to go to the 6th now. Tigers close the gap to 2. Runners on the corners, double play ball, and the Gorillas can't turn it. The Tigers played another 4-3 Gorillas. 2 outs now, runner on first. Caden Castellanos gets the batter to sky it to right. Alex Rogers makes the catch. Gorillas escape the 6th with a lead, but the Tigers score 2 more in the 7th. Pitt State can't answer. Gorillas lose 5-4, dropping the series to Fort Hays State. In Edmond, the Lions don't have much more success. Broncos beat them 5-0, sweeping the weekend series. On Wednesday, the Lions are at home to face the Gorillas, where both teams will look to get back into the win column. Right across from the baseball stadium, Gorillas softball has a couple of matches of their own yesterday. A doubleheader against Emporia State. Gorillas in the Jungle facing the Hornets. Top of the first, bases are loaded and a runner come home on the sac fly. But Ava Laurent gets a much-needed out. She'd escaped the first with no more damage. Bottom of the inning, Lena Rushing tops 1 to first, but she's really fast and she's safe. She'd add a stolen base and come home to score. Second inning, Heather Arnett backpedals and makes the over-the-shoulder catch for the out. Arnett again has a tough play, fields the 2-hopper, and makes the throw just in time. So into the 3rd, there's runners on the corners, but Lauren forces the easy grounder to first. So we're still tied at 1. Bottom of the inning, runner on first, Courtney Story blasts her first homer of the year. Gorillas up by 2. Pitt State goes on to plate 4 more. The Gorillas best the Hornets 7-3. In Game 2, the win comes a little easier. Pitt State blows out Emporia 11-1. Caden Trokim brings home 6 herself, and the Gorillas sweep their doubleheader for the 2nd day in a row. Riding a 4-game win streak, they'll travel to Claremore for a doubleheader with Rogers State on Friday. And yesterday was the final day of the NCAA tournament's opening weekend, and it sure wasn't a disappointing one. The 1-seed Florida Gators take on the defending champ UConn Huskies in a game for the ages. 1-seed Florida, 8-seed UConn, and the Gators are in trouble. Second half, Alex Carabin, the wide open look sinks the triple, and the Gators trail by 4. Less than 3 minutes left. Gators still trail, but Walter Clayton Jr. pulls up from 3 and he drains it. Gators lead by 1. Less than a minute later, solo ball from 3. So we're all tied up. Now Florida leads by 3 with just over a minute. Defender in his face, and Walter Clayton Jr. It's good. The Gators barely escaped the defending champs 77-75. They advance to the Sweet 16. What a game there. Well, still to come, a new study suggests that dancing can reduce stress and boost mental health. Plus, could see some drizzle. Got a little bit of gusty winds today. Talk about that forecast for you when the KOM Morning News returns. Welcome back to the KOM Morning News, coming up on 5:16 now on this Monday morning, and what a great Monday it will be because we can make Monday as great as we want it. Live look downtown Pittsburgh. Starting to see some clouds working in a little earlier, but that's all right. The clouds are not going to do much for us other than be cloudy. MoDOT camera 20th and range line also looking all right. So here we are onto the future track. By noon, we are looking at mostly cloudy skies, and between noon and 3, won't show up on here, but we could see an isolated sprinkle or two. Not really much of anything, and 99.5% of us should remain dry. We'll have those gusty southwest winds, and we'll start to go partly cloudy late evening and overnight. Got a fairly decent night, a little milder than where we're starting now, as we'll be into the upper 40s, low 50s to start our Tuesday. Partly cloudy, still a bit breezy on Tuesday, but thankfully nothing like last week. We're not looking at 50, 60 mile an hour wind gusts, and those winds will begin to shift out of the north for us. We head through Tuesday, again, partly cloudy. In fact, we'll be warmer. Even though we're going to have that northerly breeze, we will be warmer tomorrow. You can see some of our southern counties pushing close to 80 degrees. So, of course, that'll lead to a milder evening as we go from Tuesday night into Wednesday. Wednesday starting similar to tomorrow. And we'll have actually mostly clear skies initially, and then clouds will start to thicken up a little later in the evening. And we do have at least a chance of some scattered storms as we go late Wednesday into early Thursday. So that's something that we'll keep an eye on. Then we'll have some additional storm chances on Thursday as well. Temperatures this morning, 39 in Joplin. Breeze is currently light, north-northeast at about 3, but that will change in the next hour or two. Around the area, again, seasonably cool, mid-upper 30s for most of us, with Chanute and Bentonville still as the warm spot. Whoa, I lied to you. There's a new warm spot, Monette, 41, Cassville, 42. All right, so we got some decent temperatures, though, to start the day. Here's how we start. Low 40s out there. Again, a few clouds. Some of us, though, already seen some of these clouds, and they'll continue to thicken up through the morning hours, upper 50s by 11 o'clock. As we head into the afternoon, we're looking at highs, upper 60s, low 70s, mostly cloudy, and our breeze, southwest 10 to 15, occasional gusts to 25. And I do know the sunrise and the sunset, by the way, are missing. Our machine, for some reason, has no data for that. They're just zeros. So I'll see if we can't get that fixed. But through the evening, again, clouds begin to decrease a bit. Partly cloudy, lows back around 50. Southwest winds still gusting, though, occasionally up to 20. And they'll still gust out of the northwest tomorrow, occasionally up to 20. Mid-70s, low 70s Wednesday. Again, mostly clear through the day, then maybe some evening thunderstorms. We have scattered shower and thunderstorm chances starting Wednesday night all the way into Saturday. But look at these temperatures. I like them. I think you'll like them as we go into the low to mid 70s. And even when we cool down just a bit, we're still into the upper 60s and low 70s next week, with a few evening thunderstorms possible by next Tuesday. That's a quick check of your forecast. We'll be back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning. More Americans have received the flu shot this season compared to those who got the latest COVID-19 vaccine. The 2 vaccines became available last summer. A new research center survey found that 42% of U.S. adults got a flu shot, while 27% got the COVID shot. One of the reasons is that the current flu season has had a higher number of hospitalizations and deaths. Just over half of Americans say they haven't received either vaccine. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention recommends getting both the flu shot and updated COVID-19 vaccine. A new study reveals how likely marijuana users under 50 are having a fatal heart attack. New research published in the Journal of American College of Cardiology says users of marijuana under 50 are more than 6 times likely to have a heart attack than those the same age who don't smoke marijuana. Users under 50 are more than 4 times likely to have a stroke and twice as likely to have some kind of heart failure. Researchers surveyed more than 4.6 million people under 50. 4.6 million of them did not use marijuana, but 93,000 did, and all non-users were free of common cardiovascular risks. Researchers say they think marijuana creates small defects in coronary heart linings. If you're under stress, it may be a good time to put on your dancing shoes. A new study published in the Psychology of Sports and Exercise says dancing may do more to alleviate stress than working out at the gym. The research found the combination of music, social interaction, and physical movement makes dancing a very effective tool for both reducing stress and boosting mental health. Dancing with a partner or in a group enhances stress relief by providing social support, physical touch, and a sense of connection, which triggers the release of hormones that can promote feelings of pleasure and well-being. Some researchers have gone as far to call dancing a stress vaccine. This new study is the first comprehensive look at the relationship between dancing and stress reduction. Sleep is important for everyone, and especially children and teens, as it plays a role in growth and development. Many children experience sleep problems, and if left untreated, there can be lasting effects. Mandy Gaither talks to a pediatrician about when to worry about a child's sleeping habits.
During sleep, the body is at work, supporting healthy brain function and keeping up physical health. But getting those Z's doesn't always come easy. Around 35% of parents reported to the CDC that their child sleeps less than what's recommended for their age.
Sleep disturbances are really common in kids.
Dr. Scott Hadlin with Mass General for Children says sleep sets the stage for the kind of day a child will have, affecting school performance and how they engage with others. Those who don't get enough sleep are at increased risk for injuries, obesity, type 2 diabetes, poor mental health, attention and behavior problems, and poor cognitive development.
The key here is to understand when there's an issue.
Hadlin says there are 3 reasons parents should seek care for a child's sleep habits. First, if sleep disturbances are persistent, happening multiple times a week for a long period of time. Second, if the sleep issues are leading to daytime problems. Finally, if you suspect a medical problem, for example, heavy snoring or gasping, could be a sign of obstructive sleep apnea.
I think the other thing I would say is that if a child does wake up in the middle of the night with some kind of sleep disturbance, it's really important for parents to respond calmly, because that will help their child fall back asleep more quickly.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Dr. Hadlin says when it comes to sleep, consistency is key. So children and teens should have consistent bedtimes and wake-up times, even on the weekends. He says to avoid screen time an hour or 2 before bed, and to instead use that time to set them up with a good night's sleep, like with calming activities like reading. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
We've got a warm and somewhat breezy day out there for us today. We'll have another full look at your forecast here in just a few more minutes on the KOAM Morning News.
Right now at 5:30, farmers in Baxter Springs are helping to make access to chickens much easier.
And we've got a warm and breezy day for us today. Maybe an isolated sprinkle or 2. We'll go over those details with you in the forecast. Get you out the door coming up.
Plus, a farmer's market in Webb City is celebrating 25 years of farm fresh food to table.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Melissa Alexis.
Chris Warner, it is Monday. It's March the 24th. I know some folks, my kids, we had spring break last week, and some have it this week. Some places have it for like almost a month straight. You know, it just depends on where you are. So hopefully, however you're spending your spring, it's going pretty well. I hope your spring is going pretty well.
It's going great. Weather has been really, this morning weather was pretty nice.
It's not too bad. I mean, it's chilly this morning, but we don't have the 90-mile-an-hour crosswind, so it doesn't feel any colder than what it already is. But it will get breezy a little later this afternoon. Let's talk about that right now, starting with a live look from downtown Pittsburgh. We do have some clouds out there, and we're still expecting most of us to start the day fairly clear, but it will not take long for clouds to overspread the entire area. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline, a number of folks on the road already starting their day, or in some cases, depending on where you're at, you may be starting your spring break, or you're going back to work or going back to school after spring break, and boy, that is a challenge sometimes. Clouds will increase through the morning hours, mostly cloudy, and then between about noon and 3, we have a very slight chance of an isolated sprinkle or two. I think 99.5% of us won't see anything, but still could see a little short sprinkle here or there. Otherwise, skies will begin to clear a little as we head into the late evening and overnight. We'll start to go partly cloudy, and as I mentioned, it will be a bit breezy. 39 in Joplin, 36 in Pittsburgh, and as I continue to make up temperatures around the region, we're in the 60s this morning. No, we're really not, but we are into the 30s. We do have some warm spots. We got Cassville sitting now at 43, pair of 41s, Neosho, Monette, 40, Chanute, and Bentonville. So kids getting on the bus, most of us looking to be right about 40. Southwest winds around 5 to 10. Most of us should have clear skies, but it won't last. We're mostly cloudy by this afternoon. 68 when the bus brings them back home. Those southwest winds occasionally gusting upwards of about 25 miles an hour. Our temperatures upper 60s, low 70s today. So a very nice spring day. We just got to deal with some slightly gusty winds, but again, at least it's nothing like what we saw last week with 50, 60 mile an hour wind gusts. We do have some rain chances a little later this week, maybe even some thunderstorms. We'll go over those details with you in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Melissa?
Thanks, Chris. It's been a quarter of a century since the opening of the farmers market in Webb City, Missouri, where community members are given a chance to sell their handmade or hand-grown items. KOAM's Mitch Adams went to that market and tells us what keeps vendors and shoppers coming back.
The farmers market in Webb City has hit its 25th year, with vendors returning weekend after weekend to sell products.
Eileen Nichols had an idea, and she had connections in the community and put together a team of people to make it happen. And in conjunction with Webb City, she spent years cultivating farmers, training farmers on how to grow in the winter, and she built this market, and she ran it for 18 years.
According to data from the United States Department of Agriculture, most farmers that sell directly to their customers are more likely to stay in the farming business. Many vendors have been around since the market first opened its doors.
Some of these farmers have been here as long as 18 years or more. Several of our farmers have been here 10 years or more.
Jamie Smith has baked and sold his homemade bread at the market for years. The support he's been shown in his time selling has motivated him to continue being a vendor.
It's amazing just the variety of items they have out here, and the people that come out and support it, we couldn't do it without them for sure, so they're the integral part of what we come out here for.
With 25 years under their belt, the Webb City Farmers Market's mission remains the same: provide fresh food and a place for people to gather. Webb City, Missouri. Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
The market operates year-round and will have their spring kickoff event on 19th of April. The Farmers Market Co-op Association in Baxter Springs held a Chick Day. The goal of the day is to let people have access to chickens during the surge in egg prices and avian flu epidemic. Customers had a choice in breeds like the Olive Egger, the Cuckoo Moran, Colombian Wyandottes, and more. The Newton County 4-H Candyland Carnival took place Saturday evening at the Roy Jean Carter Memorial Fairgrounds in Neosho, Missouri. Enjoyment came in the form of carnival games, food, and a cake decorating contest. The Carnival King and Queen coronation took place, and the Little Mr. and Little Miss Clover were crowned as well.
We just want them to know about 4-H, to be able to figure out what we're all about and also have fun. We want to give back to our community to let them have fun and also just see what we can get out of it too.
One lucky attendee went home with a brand new Lazy Boy recliner that was raffled off. That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Second Lady Usha Vance heads to Greenland as President Trump eyes control of the country. Plus, Pope Francis returns to the Vatican. We'll have the latest. You're watching KOAM Morning News. Topping World Watch, the light of the world is cast into darkness, but only briefly, as the planet marks a now regular event to stir future action. The famed Christ the Redeemer statue that overlooks Brazil's seaside city of Rio de Janeiro from atop the Corcovado mountain is one moment bathed in pristine light and in another moment darkened. The purpose of the blackout is to bring awareness to climate change issues. This year, the Earth Hour movement asks for a global switch-off at 8:30 p.m. locally. Various other world structures and symbols, such as the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, St. Peter's Square in the Vatican, and the London Eye Observer Wheel, were among the monuments shrouded in darkness on Saturday evening. Second Lady Usha Vance is heading to Greenland as President Trump looks to take control of the country. The Second Lady is expected to travel to Greenland from Thursday to Sunday, with plans to see some of the country's historic sites and learn about its heritage. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz is also expected to make the trip, as President Trump continues to call for the U.S. to take control of self-governing Greenland away from Denmark. Hundreds of thousands of opposition supporters gathered outside City Hall in Istanbul, Turkey, Sunday night to protest the arrest of the city's mayor. Ekrem İmamoğlu is key rival of Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Earlier in the day, the mayor was arrested and ordered jailed, pending an outcome of a trial on corruption charges. He was originally detained on Wednesday morning, setting off the largest wave of street demonstrations in Turkey in more than a decade. Crowds have gathered outside of City Hall for the fifth night in a row. Pope Francis has returned to the Vatican. It comes after his 5-week stay at Rome's Gemelli Hospital, where he underwent treatment for a severe case of double pneumonia, which came with other complications. Some of the faithful in Rome had an opportunity to witness the Pope's first public appearance since his health crisis. Stephanie Bennett has more from London on what his recovery will look like.
Hundreds of people cheer as Pope Francis is seen for the first time in public since his 5-week battle with double pneumonia. The frail Pope greeting supporters from outside his hospital room.
Thanks to all of you. And I see this lady with the yellow flowers. Good.
Doctors say the 88-year-old will now begin a 2-month recovery and rest period. It's a relief for those who thought his illness could have been deadly.
We came the first time, when the news had first come out, people thought it was the end, but it has really brought joy to my heart to see the Pope go through all this.
The Pope's return to the Vatican does not mean he will immediately go back to work full-time. Doctors have advised Francis to avoid large and stressful meetings, and it's not clear what his day-to-day schedule will look like.
I felt sad because he didn't look well. Then he wanted to talk to us, but only a few words. He couldn't talk, and I realized it was because of his breathing.
While the Pope was breathing on his own during his balcony appearance, on his departure from the hospital, he was seen wearing nasal tubes for supplemental oxygen, something he needed throughout his treatment.
He looked okay, considering. It was good to see him, so happy to actually see him get out of hospital and back to his residence.
Pope Francis is now back at home at the Vatican and will need 24-hour medical care, although his doctors say he will need less assistance as his breathing recovers.
That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's about to be 5:43 now on this Monday morning. We're going to talk about some rain. We're going to talk about some clouds. We're going to talk about some wind, but we're going to start with this. Live look downtown Pittsburgh. Looks fantastic this morning. And same from the MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeline and Joplin. Folks getting their day underway on what will be a pretty decent Monday. It's going to be just a little breezy, a little cloudy, and between about noon and 3, a stray sprinkle or two will be possible. But again, most of us won't really notice anything other than the fact it's going to be a pretty nice day, just a bit breezy. Now, as we go late evening and overnight, we'll start to go partly cloudy, and we'll spend our Tuesday partly cloudy, and also early tomorrow morning, winds will shift out of the northwest. Now, traditionally, that means we'll have slightly cooler temperatures, but believe it or not, we'll actually be warmer on our Tuesday than what we're expecting to be today, as we're going mid, maybe even upper 70s. In fact, some of our southern counties could get somewhat close to 80 degrees tomorrow. We'll continue with partly cloudy skies through today, tomorrow, and into the overnight hours. Then we'll actually go mostly clear for Wednesday. Just a few clouds here and there. And then we'll start to see some thunderstorm chances, which we're going to talk about here in just a moment. Quick look at those temperatures for you, though. 39 in Joplin. That's what it feels like, as the wind is light at this point, but that won't last too much longer. Across the area, we've got upper 30s for most of us. We do have some low 40s here and there. Chanute, Bentonville, Neosho, Monette, and Cassville. And Cassville's the warm spot at 42. So we start the day in the low 40s, eventually upper 50s, near 60 by 11 o'clock this morning. Clouds increasing. Will be mostly cloudy through the afternoon hours, but mild. Temperatures upper 60s, low 70s, but that's what we got to watch for. The southwest winds gusting upwards of 25 miles an hour. Still gusting tonight up to 20. Partly cloudy skies to the late evening and overnight, and lows back right around 50 degrees. So now let's talk about that possibility of some additional thunderstorm chances. So we have some late Wednesday into early Thursday. So we're stopping the future track at noon on Thursday. We have some scattered storms. In fact, we've talked about the Storm Prediction Center and day 1, day 2, day 3, all that business. Day 3 is Wednesday. Now, remember how their timing works. It also leads into early Thursday morning. They do have us highlighted for general thunderstorms. Nothing severe at this point. And some other good news, as of right now at least, long-range severe weather models not forecasting any kind of severe threat beyond that. Now, that's not to say we couldn't see stronger storms later, because we have other thunderstorm chances. It's just right now, the model data, nothing is screaming severe as we head into the upcoming weekend, which that is good. That's not what we need. That last event we had that was off to our east and eventually in the deep south, that was data that showed up several days in advance. It was screaming severe several days before it happened. So that's what I'm saying. We're pretty good at this point. So no severe weather expected as we go into Thursday, but some thunderstorms. Then by Thursday evening, that batch will clear on out of here, but we'll have additional shower and thunderstorm chances as we head into our Friday. We start the day pretty cloudy, and it won't be until the afternoon, late evening, that we'll start to see additional shower and thunderstorm chances, and that will continue as well into our Saturday with some additional shower and thunderstorm chances as we head into the afternoon hours on Saturday. So again, that's still a ways out. Like I said, right now, nothing screaming severe this far out, which is good, but we'll watch those thunderstorm chances as we head into the upcoming weekend, just to make sure, because we are now officially into spring. We're settling into severe weather season, and as we mentioned, last week or so, with that severe weather outbreak to our east and then off in the southeast, it's a great reminder. And what we had yesterday night, is another great reminder. We are entering severe weather season. Now is the time to ensure you have your severe weather plans in place. Make sure you know where you're going. Make sure you've got your kit ready to go because severe weather season is here. And you don't want to be caught off guard or unprepared. And I know we're used to it every year, but sometimes I think we get a little too used to it, and we don't really plan until the event is happening. So just make sure you've got your plans in place, because again, we'll have those additional shower and thunderstorm chances as we head into the upcoming weekend. So here's what we've got, though. Really nice temperatures from here to there. 70s all the way through at least Saturday. We got the shower and thunderstorm chances here and there. And even when we cool back, we're still not bad. Upper 60s is our cooler levels as we head into Sunday and Monday. Low 70s Tuesday of next week, and maybe a few additional evening storms. We'll be back in the low to mid 60s by next Wednesday. That is a check of your forecast. We'll be back with more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Today's entertainment news takes us from the vast Pacific Ocean to your home aquarium. David Daniel has the scoop on our Hollywood Minute.
This is a call from the ancestors.
It's still smooth sailing for Moana 2. After topping $1 billion at the worldwide box office, the sequel has had more than 27 million views in its first 5 days on Disney+.
We go on these long emotional journeys to make this, and you really don't know how people will react to it. but to be there, and for me especially, to part of my cultural heritage comes from Samoa, and to be with people from the community that you are celebrating and seeing their reaction, and it being so positive is absolutely incredible.
At any given moment, there are 27 million reef wildlife individuals in the aquarium pipeline. The pipeline begins at the point of capture, and it ends when the fish goes belly up in a home aquarium.
The documentary Aquariums, The Dark Hobby claims a high percentage of tropical fish in people's homes die within a year, fueling a constant need for collecting more from the world's oceans. The film shows the vital role of the fish in the health of coral reefs and how the tropical fish trade threatens their existence. Aquariums, The Dark Hobby, produced by Martin Sheen, debuts Tuesday on digital platforms. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Egg prices may be softening soon, but in the meantime, one Florida iguana trapper is tapping his prey for an incredible edible alternative. Jeremy Roth has today's take a look at this.
It's no secret that recent egg prices have been a source of frustration for many, and as such, folks may be looking for yolks of a different color, so to speak. Enter Floridian John Johnson, who has taken to cooking up iguana eggs, which he harvests from the Sunshine State invasive species he catches for a living. Now, before you say gross, let's see what's involved.
We're going to cut open this sack that is, and we kind of squeeze it like toothpaste.
Blah, you lost me at the sack cutting. But Johnson, who doesn't mind the unsightly prep work, cracks and doctors the mini eggs with standards like salt, pepper, and veggies, and serves them up omelet style, claiming you'd never be able to tell the difference. So there you have it. If you're tired of egg prices and you have an iguana, go on-a. Me personally, I don't wanna. This'll crack you up. Say hello to the Philadelphia Drunken Nitwits, a social group of sorts that get together, get cocktails, get comfy, and get crackin' on some needlework. This crafty crew is just one of many Drunken Nitwit chapters from all over the world, and their activities extend outside the bar, sharing their creations all over the city of brotherly love. So what's the biggest challenge for prospective members?
I've had to learn how to actively drink and knit at the same time. I'm not used to doing that.
Finally, a Canadian driver has quite a yarn to spin after having a chuckle as he witnessed a deer crossing at, well, a deer crossing.
Take your time. Don't be in a rush.
Oh my goodness, look over there! But it was when he spotted a full furry fam damly that he truly started fawning.
That is so exciting.
The inventor of the deer crossing sign can rest comfortably in their grave because clearly the deer abide. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Stick around, we'll be right back. One fast food chain's birthday is just around the corner, and it's celebrating by rewarding customers with a sweet deal. From March 24th to April 6th, Dairy Queen Rewards members can secure a small blizzard for just 85 cents with a purchase of at least $1 in honor of Dairy Queen's 85th birthday. Members can access a coupon for the offer through the DQ Rewards mobile app. The offer comes ahead of the chain's new Summer Blizzard Treat menu, which debuts on March 31st. The menu will consist of 2 new flavors, 2 nostalgic flavors, and a fan favorite. Philadelphia is home to many things: the Liberty Bell, Independence Hall, and of course those celebrated stairs Rocky climbed outside of the city's Museum of Art. But Philly is also famously known for creating the cheesesteak, a popular sandwich sold across the country. And today marks National Cheesesteak Day. If you've never tried a cheesesteak, the ingredients are simple: a hoagie roll filled with thinly sliced beef and melted cheese. People often add onions to the sandwich. The cheesesteak has been a delicacy since 1930, when a hot dog vendor in Philly came up with the idea.
Can you imagine being there, you're a hot dog vendor, you just come up with that, like you're just like, you know what, let's try something a little different, and then it catches on. You think that guy realized that it would become like a staple of Philly?
Pretty cool.
It's extraordinarily cool. Our temperatures this morning, cool, but not in that same way. A little bit chilly. Okay, I'm done. Low 40s to start. Few clouds out there. Clouds thickening up. We're going to go upper 50s by 11 o'clock this morning. We've got upper 60s, low 70s today. Maybe a stray sprinkle or two between noon and 3. Those southwest winds occasionally gusting up to 25. As we head into the late evening hours, we'll eventually go partly cloudy, and that will continue overnight back down to about 50. Still a bit breezy. Southwest winds gusting to 20. Still a bit breezy for us tomorrow as well. We'll have northwest winds gusting to 20. But believe it or not, even though we're going to have a northerly type breeze, we're going to be warmer tomorrow. Mid, maybe even upper 70s, partly cloudy. Mostly clear on Wednesday, low 70s. And then late Wednesday into early Thursday, some evening thunderstorms. That could continue into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But with those storm chances also comes the warm weather, hanging on to the 70s into Saturday. A little cooler Sunday and Monday. More rain chances next Tuesday. Let's check your forecast. Got another hour of the KOAM Morning News right after this.